What is up, my thrifty friends? Tabs here from the Urban Goddess shop. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're doing a what sold. I'm so excited to go over all these sales. I have a ton of sales, over $40 on multiple platforms. We have Poshmark Canada, Poshmark US, and eBay. And yeah, there's been some time since the last video. I know I was going to try and do them every 2 weeks, but I was gone on holidays last week, so here we are, we're doing it. It's been 18 days and we're going to jump into the sales. So I'm going to give you my gross total amount as a little spoiler, and then we're going to go over total sales, how they break down each platform, how many items I sold, any trends, any analytics, any data that I have, top brands, and some sales goals for next time. So lots of tidbits in this video. I hope they help you on your reselling journey. If they have helped you and you enjoy these videos, make sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know so that I can make more videos like this. Okay, let's dive into this. Total sales over the last 18 days is, drumroll, $3,213. Not too shabby. Now we're going to go over what my thoughts are on these sales and what's going on later on in the video. I'm sorry, the sun just like came out of the clouds. For right now, let's go over the sales on the platforms. Then we'll get into the analytics after. Also, one more thing, there's a lot of different brands that are going to start popping up. All this like creative sourcing I've been doing, trying different things, stepping away from just my bread and butters are starting to pay off, and they are sprinkled throughout this whole video. So I'm excited to give you guys some more ideas on items that are currently selling. First item to kick it off is a vintage Aztec cropped blazer jacket in a size small. This sold to Eco Fashion Freak. Girl, I cannot wait to see this on Instagram. She is a fellow Canadian posher. She paid $49 for this jacket. It was such a gorgeous jacket and a really quick sale. I listed it, I shared it on Instagram just because I thought it was so cool and so unique, and she instantly bought it. Thank you so much. She also left a love note. Tab, it fits like a dream. I love it. Thank you so much. Can't wait to rock it. I can't wait for you to rock it, and you need to tag me or send me a picture because I want to see you wearing it. Next sale is a pair of Babaton black meta pants in a size 10. These sold for $70. These were a no-brainer for me. I am going to continue grabbing Wilford and Babaton trouser pants, especially heading into fall and winter where people tend to lean on their trouser pants a little bit more. I think I got such a high dollar for these pants because they were a size 10. I think if these would have been a size 4, would have been a bit of a tougher sale just because there's way more size, like smaller sizes available. But anytime I can score even like a size 8 and up, I feel like they just hold a better dollar, and people don't banter on them as much because there's not a lot of options for them to purchase these pants. So that was a quick sale, sold within a couple days. Yeah, I'm always scouring for them. Sometimes I have a good day where I can find a couple pairs, and then days like today, I don't really find any when I'm out. Buy them when they're there. That's my tip. If you see them, buy them. And one more tip on this, unless it's a very current style, like still being sold at Aritzia, I probably wouldn't pay over $20. If the pants are still currently selling at Aritzia, I would probably pay up to $30 because a lot of their pants are retailing for about $150. They do hold a really good resale value. Next up is a Free People Lula cotton embroidered top in a size XL, sold for $50. This was a really quick sale as well, sold within a day. Free People peasant blouse style. I just think these do really good. Certain styles do really well. White peasant always sells and fetches a really good dollar. Definitely a style I am always on the hunt for. And the funny thing is, with the peasant style cotton blouses, to me, they don't even always have to be a brand as long as they're a good quality, and I think like an appealing cut, and like it has to have a few factors to it. I'll take a chance on it. And in the last month, probably I've sold 3 unbranded cotton tops for over $35, which I think is great, especially when there's no brand tied to it. Next up is a pair of Birkenstock Papaleo. I don't even know how to say this one. Papillon is what I thought it was, but that's not what I typed. Suede wedge leather sandals. They were in a size 7. These sold for $70. I have had these listed, I think, for a couple weeks. Really great shoes. Definitely know your Birkenstock off-brand. So there's like Birkenstock, and then there's like 3 or 4 other brands that are related to Birkenstock that are made by the same company, and they tend to all hold really good value. So if you're unsure on a sandal and it has a cork bed and it's leather, I would search it up, and don't even search it up on like Poshmark. Search it up online and find out where they're selling this shoe and any details. And if it's related to Birkenstock, I would probably grab it, because Birkenstock is such a high value reselling shoe right now. Next up, we have another quick sale. Oh my gosh, there's so many quick sales in this video, like within a week. Those are really quick flips with good returns on investment. This next one is a Wilfred. It's called the new Accoulement. I don't even think that matters. Anyways, it was a jumpsuit with wide leg pants, and it was in a size 6. It sold for $62. I picked this up for $20. This was also another quick sale. I did know that it would probably do better in summer, and I had to prioritize getting that one listed. But yeah, if I can find their jumpsuits and they're under, I think I would even pay up to $30 maybe for them. But I just feel like they typically hold a really good resale value. This was a little bit of an older style, but yeah, I would still probably pay $25 for this if I had the option to pick it up again. Next up is a pair of Ariat mid-rise Clarissa straight leg jeans, size 26. These sold for $50. Loving the Ariat. If you have access to them, I would grab them. They do well, and I feel like a pair of jeans selling for $50 is a pretty good sale. Not all jeans hold that resale value. Next up is a Wilfred Melody jumpsuit wide leg pants, size small. This sold for $77. This is a perfect example of a jumpsuit by Aritzia that I would pay up for, because they hold a really good value. They're also very on season right now. I feel like jumpsuits do much better during the summer months than they do during winter, because let's be honest, in winter, who wants to go half naked in a bathroom stall to go to the bathroom? But yeah, they're just a good summer piece, and I feel like they can be dressed up or worn casual. They're just a really versatile clothing item. So I would pay up for this, $77. Even if I was paid out $57, even if I would have paid $30 for it, that's still a $27 earnings after Poshmark takes their fees and cost of goods. That's a pretty good sale. Like I would be okay with that. Next up was a pretty quick flip. I think I had it listed like a week. So next up is a Roots sweatshirt. It was a crew neck, long sleeve, size extra large. It sold for $48. I don't pick up all Roots stuff, but if it's a crew neck, it's in a larger size, it's in great condition, and it has Roots like big logo on the front, I will take a chance on it. If it's like a zip up with the small Roots, my thrift stores mark those at like $11, so I probably won't grab them unless they're similar to this style. And this is probably the first time I've found a sweater of this style. Next sale is another quick sale, but it doesn't surprise me. So this was those pair of Farm Rio denim overalls. They were a jumpsuit style. They were in a size 10. They sold for $60. These were not the typical Farm Rio brand, but they were the farm brand from Brazil. What really ticked me off is that I could not find a stock photo for the life of me. I tried so hard to find a stock photo. So I did the best to take this picture, which I don't think is like ideally how I want photos on my page. I definitely like a little bit more of a modeled look. And this doesn't show like the straps and everything, but whatever. It did the job. And I think because the brand is such a strong brand, and this being denim overalls, they just did good and sold pretty quick. She did leave me a love note. It's Be Kind 007. And she said, brand new, great deal. So happy with the purchase. That's awesome. I love these love notes. I love it when people have like, they're happy, quick shipping, exactly as described. Those are the love notes that I enjoy receiving. Next up is one of my favorite brands, and I don't find it often, but I've had a few pieces in my closet, and it is Lovers and Friends. This is the Vista mini dress. It was in a size small. It sold for $90. I thought that this would sell so much quicker than it did. I've only had it listed for a month, but I like truly thought that this was going to sell so quick because this is like the perfect country festival, any type of festival dress, and it's just so cute. It was all eyelet lace. It was just adorable. So yeah, I was surprised it took that long to sell, but quite happy with what I got for it. Next up is another pretty quick sale. Not gonna lie, kind of surprised at what it sold for, but I can see some of the factors in it. So it was a Wilfred Elodie blouse, casual long sleeve, size medium. It sold for $57. Now, any of the Wilfred tops typically are selling for over $80. So, and this being one of their blouse style ones, it holds a good value. It's a gorgeous color. I don't often find like a moss green color to sell. So this is definitely a top of my heart. This is like the colors that I thoroughly enjoy the most, that I wear personally. And yeah, I'm surprised at what it sold for because I was expecting to get, you know, a lower offer on it, but I'm pleasantly happy with this sale. And if I see this style of top or a similar color in a different style, I will definitely be picking them up. Next up was another really quick sale. This sold within hours. It's so crazy. I either have like, so I feel like my sales have been slow. Even though I have a ton of sales to go over right now, you guys have to take into consideration I listed like 200 items in the last 2 weeks. So my expectations of sales is just a little bit higher than this, but it was either they didn't sell at all or they sold within a day. Like it was crazy. These leggings sold within hours of listing them, and it's a pair of aloe seamless high-waisted 7/8 limitless leggings, and they were like mesh. So the solid part was like almost like underwear. I don't know how to describe it. And then the leggings were like a fishnet. It was so bizarre. I've never seen leggings like this. They were in a size small and they sold for $86. These leggings retailed for $185 here in Canada, which my mind was blown. When I saw them, I was like, I'm taking a chance on these. They were priced at $10. I had a coupon. I was like, whatever. Even if they only sold for like $50, but I was not expecting what they sold for. And I did list them high, but I was like, I'll accept reasonable offers. I was shocked. I was shocked with those ones. Next up is a 2-piece bundle. This goes to Kelly. Hi, Kelly. I know you love this package. It was awesome. The pieces are gorgeous. The first one is a Free People sleeveless lace blouse in a size small. It was gorgeous. Like everything that Little Prairie, or what is it called? House on the Prairie, not Little Prairie. House on the Prairie, peasant, farmhouse style is just gorgeous. And it was so soft and flowy, the cotton. And then the second item is a pair of Lululemon All the Right Places pants, size 6. So this bundle sold for, let's just see, $92. And those leggings, both of these items I had just listed within a week. So pretty quick sales. Kelly left me a love note, quick delivery, nicely packaged items, just as described. She always has great items in her closet. Thanks, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, thank you. I've said this before. You are like my ideal customer. People that are looking for that style, those are my ideal customers. And I'm so happy to have options and just like having a kind of a curated closet. So I have been expanding more in the last month probably, but prior to that, my closet was very curated in brands and styles. And I know my ideal customer. I know what they're looking for generally. I mean, I have some stuff that no one wants to buy, but I generally have an idea of what they're looking for. I source specifically for them. So Kelly would be a perfect example of my ideal customer and the styles that she's typically buying. I kind of have an idea of what she's looking for, and if I see things while I'm out shopping, I'm going to grab them because I know that someone else will be looking for that style or that aesthetic. But yeah, thanks, Kelly. Next up is a pair of cool weekender tight hiking pants. These were in a size large. They sold for $49. I love selling Cool. It's like a personal favorite brand. So when it sells, I'm always like, yeah, someone is going to use those pants out doing outdoor stuff. All right, moving along. Next, we have a two-piece bundle. Both of them are Lululemon items. First one is a pair of extra mile crop leggings in a size 8, and the second item is a Lululemon 2021 muscle tee in a size medium. This bundle sold for $82, and yeah, not sad about that. I am super hesitant picking up tops just because I feel like the cost of goods is quite high for me, and by themselves they don't usually sell for very much. But I really love it when my Lulu tops can get tossed in a bundle with a pair of leggings, and then that's where I see more of the value coming from. Next up is a Lululemon long sleeve thumb hole top, size medium. This one sold for $42. I've definitely seen a decline in what I'm getting for my Lululemon tops. I don't know why. I don't know what the driving factor is. But yeah, they just don't hold the same resale value that they did a year ago. Personally, is what I'm finding in my closet. I would love to hear what you guys think on Lululemon tops, because I can't be the only one that's noticed this trend in the last, 6 months. All right, next up is a brand that I don't pick up often, but I'm starting to pick up more, and it's Ms. Moo's. So these were a pair of Ms. Moo's New York City Chase heels in a size 7. They were a beautiful color, like a nice sage green, and they sold for $54. I do have a pair of Ms. Moo's red high boots that are probably like a knee length that haven't sold yet, but I feel like I've had a couple Ms. Moo sales in the last few months. So if I can find ones that aren't dated, that I think are more of a current style, I will pick them up now, because I do think there's a certain demographic of people that are still wearing Ms. Moo's, that are searching it out, that enjoy them. They're super comfortable, they're good quality, and yeah, there's buyers out there for them for sure. Next up is a pair of Denim Forum, the Farrah high-rise wide leg jeans, size 28. These sold for $85. Another sale that happened pretty quick, and I'm quite shocked about. Denim Forum, I would say over the last year, hasn't held the same value that it did 3 years ago. And part of that was, I think Aritzia was really pushing the Levi's jeans and the Goldie. But recently I was at an Aritzia store when we were in Winnipeg last week, and I couldn't believe how many Denim Forum jeans they had out. So I think they're trying to get them back into the store and get them marketed better. So maybe we'll start to see an increase in sales on those and increased dollar value. They typically sell for over $120 a pair, like $120 to $180, I think. So they're definitely on the lower end compared to a Goldie, but still like great jeans, and I'm hoping they make a comeback. I really am, because I find them often when I'm outsourcing. Next up is a pair of Lululemon Align full-length pants, size 6. These sold for $52. They went to Holly Benedict, and she left me a love note. In great condition and came super quick. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Lululemon Aligns, obviously, as long as they're a newer style, I am picking those up because they consistently sell. Next is a brand that I haven't picked up in a while, and I really shied away from selling shoes the last bit, more just because I despise listing them and they're a pain to store. So when I redid my office probably like a month ago, I started a new tote system, and I numbered all my totes and lettered them, and I've been bagging the shoes and inventorying them. And since creating this better system for storage, I feel like I've been picking them up more. Teos is a brand that I find I used to pick up more often and then just stopped looking. Like, I've just been so hyper focused on the brands that I pick up for shoes that it was when I was passing over, and I wish that I wouldn't have for so long because there is value in them. So these were a Teos Award T-strap sandals. They had leather straps, size 9, and they sold for $46. Typically, when I find these shoes, I am paying $10 to $12. So my earnings were $32.84. That is a quick 20 bucks. These sold within a week, and yeah. She also left me a love note, Grey Gal 78, and she said, "Thank you. Shoes are exactly as described." Awesome. I even used my own stock photos. So one of the things I've also been doing is using less stock photos, especially with shoes. I've been trying to just take good quality photos, take the first one, cover shoot it through photo room, put the white background, and use it. I also picked up these little clear shoe things that like hold the shoe sandal open, and it's definitely changed how I feel about photographing sandals, and it's been a game changer. I've just picked them up on Amazon. I'll drop a link down below in case you want to get a pair of these. I think the bundle I bought even came with like 6 or 7 of them in it, or like, sorry, 6 or 8 of them in it. It was more than I needed, but that being said, I've already snapped one, like squeezing it, trying to get it into a shoe. So I'm sure I'll go through all 8 of them. I have no doubt in that. Next up is another brand that I don't pick up often, but I have introduced it into my list of brands that I am looking for, and it is Athleta. Now, I won't pick up all Athleta. I'm definitely looking for larger sizes, more current styles. These were the Arrival pants with a drawstring waist, size 12, and they sold for $41. Typically, sourcing these, I'm paying $8 to $10. So again, this is another quick $20 profit, and they sold within a week. So if you can, I know before I used to be like, I'm only selling things over $50 because I only have X amount of hours to sell, and I'm trying to make the most money out of the items that I'm selling. But since I've started to increase volume, I've dropped that to about $40. So if I think an item will sell for over $40 and I'm paying, less than $12, I will take a chance on it because I'm still looking at profits of about $20 an item then. I'm also not listing them. I'm using a VA to do my drafting. So I feel like that's kind of taken some workload off of me too, which allows me to list more. It's kind of like a little circle or a little system that I'm working on right now. And I am hoping to share everything with you guys soon. It's just been a lot going on, and it's been hard for me to get everything really hammered out where I can say, here is my system, this is how it works, and make it so that you can replicate it. Okay, moving on. Next is a cool gray flannel plaid long sleeve. It was a size medium. It sold for $40. I picked up a bunch of these for about $10 a flannel, probably like a month and a half ago. I felt like these were flannels that I was going to have to hold on till fall. I predicted that they would start to do better, but I'm starting to see sales on them, and I think I only have like one left out of that thrift haul. So I'm happy with that. $40, that's good. I'm okay with that, and I'm going to keep looking for certain brands because there's certain brands that I value and I feel like other people that are into outdoor activities would be valuing. Cool being one of them. Next up is a pair of Wilfred Sabina pants. These were very wide leg, size 10. They sold for $60. Quick sale within a couple days. I just couldn't believe how many of these pants were selling like this. And I think that's the transition that people are starting to go through, that they're transitioning from, their summer items to starting to look for new fall pieces. So I'm going to keep looking for Aritzia brands like Babaton and Wilfred because they just do really well for me. And I think as long as you're trying to get more current size or more current styles, larger sizes like size 6 and up, maybe even 8 and up, I believe that they will sell quickly, but they do have to be a current style. And if you're not sure, then be cautious when you're picking them up because I think you could sit on an older style for a while. And I do have a couple older styles that I picked up at the same time as these pants, and they haven't sold yet. So kind of a chance I was taking, but I'm okay with that risk. Next up are the Birkenstock London oiled leather clogs. These were in a size 10 and they sold for $100. These did have damage on the tongue. I don't know if you guys remember, but it looked like a dog had chewed part of the tongue off, and then there was also some chew marks on one of the heels. I had a pretty strong feeling that they would still hold good value. Otherwise, they were in excellent condition. So $100, I'm happy with that. I paid about $28 for them. So that's a pretty good profit. That's $50 after Poshmark took their commission. That's a pretty good flip, and within a couple days. Next up is a pair of Crocs. Thanks, Wendy, for the tip. They were Crocs Cypress. I think it's supposed to be Crocs Cypress 4 heel sandals with an open toe, size 8. They sold for $41. Crocs was definitely a brand that I wasn't picking up before, but I am now on the lookout for certain styles. These heeled styles or the wedge styles can hold a really good value, and I've heard them selling for similar prices on the US side and eBay, which I'm surprised these didn't sell on eBay first, because I feel like there's a pretty strong market over there for these types of Crocs shoes. So yeah, pretty good sale. Next is another brand. Oh my God, there's so many shoe brands. Okay, so this is another brand that I have picked up in the past. I don't know why I stopped picking it up. Maybe because my thrift store started marking it up to like $20. But recently I've noticed the price dropping on these, and they're asking like $10 to $13 for them. So the brand is Airtrex or Atrex. It's AETREX. And these are the Gia ankle strap wedges. They were in a size 8. They sold for $45. Really quick sale. I just picked up another pair of similar shoes to these today. So want to get those listed and hoping that I can sell another pair. But this is another brand of shoes that has a really good retail value. It has a strong following. They're an orthopedic style shoe. They're very comfortable. They're well made. And I think they're a pretty safe bet if you find them out while you're sourcing. And obviously lower cost of goods. Next is another pair of Ariat denim jeans. These are the mid-rise whip stitch, size 29. These sold for $49, so right around that $50 mark. I'm happy with that. Always looking for Ariat jeans, although I don't find them that often. Next is a pair of Lululemon Scuba high-rise joggers, size 10. These ones sold for $51, so Lululemon's going quite strong in my sales, still looking for it all the time and giving preference to newer styles. So anything that's like 2018, 2019 or newer, and I will pay up for anything that's like 2020 and newer. Those tend to hold pretty good value. And joggers, like I just feel like everyone is looking for joggers, and Lululemon is putting out far less joggers than they were a couple years ago. All right, we are getting close to the end of the Canadian sales. Then we're going to jump into the US ones. Next up is a pair of Hunter Original Tall Gloss rain boots, size 9. These sold for $58. Happy to get these moving. They actually sold in a live show. I shipped them out to her. She denied them at the post office and they got sent back to me, and Poshmark credited her. So I didn't even open these up. That's so bad. They came back. She never opened the box. Like, she declined it at the post office. So when they sold again, Lena was doing my shipping for me last week while I was gone, and I'm like, hey, there's a box down on the stair landing. Just stick the label on there because the boots are in that box. So she liked that because she didn't have to pack them up. I'm happy because I didn't have to try and mentally find a box in our house that would fit them. And yeah, it was easy. They sold within a week of them coming back to me. Next up is a pair of Madewell high-rise skinny jeans in a size 31. These sold for $51. I'm a little bit surprised on what they sold for, but I think the condition, they were in next to new condition, and they were a size 31. And for those two factors, that's why I think that they sold so well. Also, they sold on the Canadian side, so I think the American side is really flooded with Madewell, but I would say probably your larger sizes, newer condition would probably still do well on that side as well. Oh my gosh, I said that way too many times. You guys know what I mean. Next up is a 2-piece bundle. This sold for $100. In the bundle are 2 jumpsuits. The first is a cloth and stone gray tencel jumpsuit. This was in a size medium. And the second one is a Wilfred Irene Model gray jumpsuit. So both pieces, great pieces, good quality materials. So I made sure to put the material content in the title because these are material contents that people are looking for. And the styles, I just felt like these would do well. They did take a little bit of time to sell. I think I've had both of these for about 6 weeks, but not surprised on the prices. I'm happy with that. Next is another Wilfred New Melody black jumpsuit in a size large. This one sold for $75. This is why I said I would pay up for jumpsuits, because I sold how many? 4 or 5 jumpsuits in just this video alone. So as much as I can source them, I believe that I can sell them. But that being said, I think I left one at the store today. They were asking $40. So I think $30 is probably my limit of what I would spend on a jumpsuit. Next up was a surprising sale, because I feel like this is definitely a winter item, but it was a vintage North Face puffy teal jacket in a women's size extra large, sold for $56. It was such a cool vintage jacket. I bought this way back in spring, and I thought it would sell with like, spring skiing, ski bum time frame, but it didn't. So I was so surprised. I'm happy. I'm happy to see this one go. I need to sell some jackets because my jacket closet is so full right now, and I'm going to be in trouble come fall and winter if I don't start moving some of them. Next up is a pair of Levi's ribcage straight ankle jeans in a size 28. These sold for $63. Okay, here are the factors. This is why I think these jeans held the value that they did. Number one, they were a size 28, good size, a little bit bigger. They were rib cage, which I feel like the rib cage in the straight leg ankle cut is trending heavy right now, also in a light wash. So these are not the cheap Levi's that you can find at like Target or whatever other stores. This is like the straight leg jeans that you find on Revolve. Like these are the good value Levi's jeans, and that's why I priced them up, and I think that's why they held such good value. This is another style that you would probably see sold at Aritzia as well. All right, next is a pair of Bed Stew Juliana wood wedge strappy sandals in a size 8.5. These sold for $70. I was hoping that these would sell for a bit more, but looking at sold comps, because I did reevaluate my pricing. Originally, I had them priced at $130, but when I reevaluated the pricing and looked at other solds, I feel like that was a little bit high. I dropped the price down to $100. She liked the item. I sent her an offer with 30% off, which is what I have POSH Sidekick set to, and they sold. I love Bed Stew. I wish I found Bed Stew more often because it just holds such good value. I look at Bed Stew the same as like AS98. They're just shoes that hold really good value. Next up is a pair of Chaco Vibram Mega Z Cloud Sport sandals. That sounds so silly. They're like strappy hiking sandals, size 8. These sold for $40. I think if I would have cleaned these up, they would have sold for more. The straps definitely were dirty, and I took pictures of them. I stated in the listing, they could be cleaned. I just wasn't putting that effort in. I do think I could have probably got like $15 more if I would have gave them a good cleaning, but it is what it is. I paid like $10 for them. So again, another quick $20. Those were listed less than a week. Next is a Cavu brown plaid button-down, XXL, sold for $42. Cavu is like an outdoor hiking brand, outdoor lifestyle brand. I love it personally. I think they have the cutest women's stuff. They have great menswear, and this doesn't surprise me. But I do think there's like definitely a smaller demographic of people that are shopping for this brand. So I'm just happy I found the right buyer for it, because this was one I thought that I would probably sit on for a little bit until someone came along. And then last sale for Poshmark Canada, then we'll jump into the US side, is a Free People Penelope Peplum Floral Long Sleeve Blouse. This sold for $50, size small. Not shocked. This is such a cool, elegant piece. The stock photo, it doesn't even do it justice. Like, it is gorgeous in person. I'm so excited for her to receive this because it's a fantastic piece. All right, let's hop into the US side. First up, on the US side, I have a pair of Aloe high-rise biker shorts. These were in like a red hot, it's called Red Hot Summer, but to me it was almost like a poppy red, like it had a little bit of orange undertones. It sold for $35, which I'm okay with. I felt like they were a little bit risky because of the color, so that was a quick sale. Next is a NYX Wing Woman contour bra, seamless, cream color, size 4. This one sold for $28. Definitely noticing a little bit less money on the US side for NYX bras, but this is a brand that recognize USD and Canadian dollars as two separate, whereas some brands like Lululemon and Aritzia, they charge the same dollar whether it's in the US or in Canada. Their pricing seems to be just the same. There is no US price, Canadian price. And I would say NYX is one of those brands, though, that does differentiate between. So with the exchange rate and like currency differences, this is probably equivalent to what it's selling here in Canada for. Next up is an Anthropologie Tiny Cassidy velvet sleeve top in a size medium. This one sold for $28. Great sale. Love the style of it. Beautiful boho. She did leave me a comment that she was a little disappointed on ship times, and I'm working on that. It's just so difficult. I make a sale, I ship it the next day, and I'm still 4 days before it starts tracking on the US side, and Poshmark recognizes Saturday as a shipping day with USPS, but UPS, which does my parcel pickup to take it to my cross-border courier, doesn't. So if I'm shipping out orders right before the weekend, I automatically lose a day because Posh recognizes Saturday as a shipping day. I'm just like, I don't know how to shorten it. It's just where I'm at, and I'm just hoping that majority of people don't mind, because as long as I'm shipping next day, the item pops up tracking within 4 days, which I still think is reasonable for shipping. I mean, everyone wants things shipped out the next day, and the other thing is I've been marking it as shipped but not tracking. And on Posh Canada side, it will recognize that. But on the Posh US side, it doesn't. Like, they won't recognize it as shipped with shipping time until it shows up tracking, which is just frustrating because I have no control of that where I live. And I don't know, it's just gonna be a part of doing business, I think. And if it becomes too big of an issue, I'll have to figure something else out. But it doesn't sound like I really have any other options unless I pay more to ship my items from here to Vancouver. So for me, if sales were to like explode and I had like $200 US every day that I was shipping out, then I would have no issue with that, but I'm not at that point yet, and it's hard to justify paying any more than I am to get my packages to the US. So it's kind of a fine line. I still am like trying to evaluate to see how to make all this work. Next up is a Lululemon sports bra. This was in a size 34G, very unique size, not something that's common, and it sold for $41. So I'm happy with that. It was a fantastic bra, and yeah, not surprised. That was probably about what I expected for it. Next up is a Lululemon scuba hoodie. This was a full zip jacket in gray, size 8, sold for $46. That's a good price for a little bit of an older style Lululemon. If I can find scubas in black or gray or like very neutral colors, larger sizes, not many signs of wear, I'm still going to grab them because they're usually selling for $45 to $55, whether it's on the Canadian side or the US side. Next is a 2-piece bundle, and this sold for $65. In it is a pair of Wilfred short flowy crepe material shorts in a size large. And the second item is a Rails pullover Henley long sleeve top in a size large as well. Like I said, it sold for $65. I'm still picking up Rails. I know not everyone does, but it seems to be selling for me on both the Canadian and the US side. So if you think that it doesn't sell, you just have to find, I think, the right pieces. I think that's what it goes down to, like the style, the color. Most of these sales, like a couple people that have purchased from me, I see have other items in their closets, but a lot of these sales are just random people. I'm not a Posh ambassador. I'm not in the promoted closets. I don't have access to live selling. Like, I have no advantages in this closet besides being an influencer. But like I said, majority of people buying from me are just buyers on the app. So I do think that Rails is a brand that I will continue to pick up. Next up is a vintage 80s elastic waist slip skirt with a black lace hem in a size large. This sold for $32. I'm not sad about that. I usually pay about $5 for these, so that's a pretty quick flip with a return. Next is a men's Lululemon metal vent tech half zip mock neck training top. Oh my gosh, the keywords here, in a size XXL. This one was slightly different from the stock photo, but I made sure to put that into the listing, and it sold for $53. Like, I'm good with that. I wish I found more good quality men's Lulu, because I think on the US side they do much better. Same with on eBay. Men's Lulu does much better than it does just selling in Poshmark Canada. Next up, we have a pair of Lululemon Align wide leg super high rise crop pants in a size 6. These sold for $75. These were gorgeous. They were a newer style. A little bit surprised on the price that I got for them, but I personally think this is a fair market value for this style, this color, the size, the age of it and everything. I think it's so crazy when people sell like brand new, 2021 Lulu Align leggings for $40. Like, I think that's just crazy because you cannot buy them in store for that much. And I don't feel like they depreciate that much. I think part of it is like market flooding for certain styles and colors. Next up is an item that you guys saw me source not too long ago. So this was a really quick flip, and it was the A9 Bang bell sleeve chunky knit sweater, size small. This sold for $125. So minus my Poshmark fees, my net earnings are $100 on this item. Now this is in USD, so when I convert it to Canadian dollars, it's actually going to be $125. I paid $75 for this, so I'm making close to a $50 profit after my cost of goods and Poshmark fees. That was a pretty good flip. I did take a chance on it, and I think I could probably get a bit more money if I held on to it, but holding on to it to make another 20 or 30 bucks, I don't know. I would rather just take the money now than potentially sit on the item for another couple months. And because I paid up for it, I'm also then sitting on my business money being held up in this inventory. So I made money. I'm good with it. I'm happy with that. And then the last item to sell here on Poshmark US was a Beyond Capri short sleeve cotton scoop neck women's top. This was a one size fits all, and it sold for $54. Still picking up those linen and cotton items, especially those kind of log and look type items. I feel like this has a very coastal grandma style to it, so not surprised on it, but very happy with what I got for it. All right, that wraps it up. I would love to say we're going to go over the eBay sale, but the one sale I had on eBay was only for $25, so we're not going to cover it today. And I think it was actually just a pair of like North Face hiking shorts. All right, let's jump into the data and analytics. If you've made it this far, don't go yet, because this is where it gets good. This is where we go over the breakdown of all of my sales. So total sales are from July 7th to the 25th. That's 18 days. On Poshmark Canada, I had $2,606 in sales. On Posh US, I had $582, not too shabby, and $25 on eBay. I did have 2 buyer canceled sales, and kind of sad about that because it definitely would have knocked my eBay earnings probably up to about $125. But it is what it is, can't control it. The grand total for all 3 platforms is $3,213. So this is good. Yes, I recognize that this is good money. I'm gonna pop in here really quick as I'm editing. The numbers I originally recorded were off, but I have listed probably close to 250 items in the last 3 weeks. I did take a little bit of a break, but I had listed a ton of stuff right before I left. This is why I'm just saying, like, these numbers are good, but not compared to what I have listed and spent on inventory. And it's just not equating, like it's not transferring over. So on average, I made about $179 a day in gross sales. That's not net, that's not what I bring home, but gross sales is about $179. I did the calculations for last week's video, and I think I'm going to start including this data point, because this is an easy way to break down my grand total, because sometimes it varies how many days I'm doing it over. But in my last video, I was averaging $236 a day in sales. That's quite a difference. Like that's $55 difference. I feel like added up over, 2 weeks, that's a substantial amount. So it's definitely down from last video that I put out, but we are in the middle of summer slowdown. I know a lot of people are affected financially by what is going on in the economy, and that's not just me being doom and gloom, like that's just reality. I also recognize that there are resellers out there that are not affected by summer slowdown, and I see it as well on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. But if you are noticing a difference in sales this July, please know so am I. Okay, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I would love to hear if you want to drop a comment letting me know how your sales are even from June to July. And if you have data from last year, how are your sales from last July to this July? So those are some info that I would love from you guys, and, hopefully help each other out and maybe show that there are a lot of people in this boat. Like the people that are succeeding right now are much fewer between. Not saying that you can't and that there aren't people, because there are definitely people doing very well right now, but I'm not one of them. So I guess I haven't figured out the hack as to what needs to be selling right now. I mean, I have, because I have a ton of solds, but I also have a ton of items that are not moving. So in total, I sold 74 items. My ASP is a little bit down to $43 an item, which I was kind of expecting. So I've noticed my profit margins starting to slip a little bit on items, but I also have increased my sourcing and the amount of items that I'm sourcing. And before, I was only looking for items that would sell for over $50, and now I'm looking for items that will sell over $40. To see my ASP go down to 43, that doesn't really surprise me right now. My active listings are up to 690, and they were at 594 last time we talked. So I'm up about 100, which isn't bad. And that was just being gone the weekend before, being gone all last week. I came back from Winnipeg. I worked the last 2 days. Like, I haven't listed anything yet since being back. So that is on my list of things to do between today and tomorrow, is to get some listings drafted or sent over to my VA. Top brands that are moving for me: Lululemon, number one, Aritzia brands, Wilfred, Babaton, and Free People. Those continue to be my top 3 bread and butter brands. I also source a lot of these brands. Like, this is a priority in my business. So it makes sense to me that these are my top brands. My data is going to be driven by what I'm sourcing and listing. This is just a big chunk of my inventory. I also noticed quite a few more brands sprinkled throughout the video, which I'm excited to share more higher value sales than just these 3 brands, because it shows you that you can still make good money sourcing other brands, and that you don't have to sell these 3 brands to make money. So 2 other brands that popped up in my graph were Elf Elite, which is a brand that I never used to pick up. I just started picking this up. I was sleeping on this one. And Birkenstock. But I mean, Birkenstock, everyone knows about. If you can find them, even if they are beat up, they still hold value. They still hold money. People will still pay for them. You may not get top dollar if the cork is all mashed up, but you can still sell them for probably 30 bucks. Like, it's crazy the Birks that I've seen and sold that are like totally trashed. Yeah, okay, so those are the brands. Trends for my sales, 65% of my sales were from offers to likers. So an item, someone likes an item, I send them an offer. Posh Sidekick sends them an offer, not really me. And this is a big part of my business and why I truly believe that having an automation tool for your business is a game changer and takes you off your phone for a little bit. I do have rules set on a few items that are higher value. So kind of like when they go to send out offers, these items, I don't send out a 30% offer, and I have this usually set to 20%. So if I had like Patagonia or brand new Birks or whatever in my closet, I would set up a rule through Posh Sidekick that it only sends a 20% offer to those people. And that just gives me an opportunity to barter a little bit more with them and puts that starting barter price just a little bit higher. The next percentage of my sales is bundle offers, and that's at 25% of my sales. I would say this happens from using the My Shoppers feature, which I love to use. I use it 1 to 2 times a week. And basically I'm just adding likes to bundles and sending an offer. I don't typically send a comment unless it's a long weekend, but I like the bulk add likes to bundle, and I usually do it closer to the weekend if I'm going to use that feature. Pro tip though, if you are using the My Shopper feature and you have My Seller discounts turned on, it will add those discounts. So say you have it set in your closet that if someone bundles whatever 2 or more items, they save 25%. If you have that set and then you also use My Shoppers, it will compound those discounts. So make sure that if you do have the bundle feature turned on in your closet, that you turn that off before using the My Shoppers feature. And I've learned that the hard way on sending out a few packages with like steep discounts on items. If you're not sure where to find this, you can go into the My Seller tools, and under there you should see an option that says My Seller discounts, and then it's just a toggle. You can turn it on and off. Okay, fun fact. This fact isn't fun, but it's very true for me. So sales are down. I was expecting a lot more for sales. These sales are similar to what I would see when I was listing 40 to 50 items a week. So I've like more than doubled what I'm listing, and I'm seeing the same sales results as I was, 4 or 5 months ago. If you are experiencing slow sales, I'm going to say this again, just know that I am with you. I am also experiencing this. And as soon as things start to turn around, I will share them with you. If I find any hacks or anything that works, I will share them with you. I will continue to do the silent shows that are automated through Posh Sidekick. I believe those have an impact on my sales. I did not run like any of them last week while I was on holidays. I took the week off, and I do think that had an impact on my sales. Oh, I also had my US closet turned off for 5 days because I didn't want Jeff to have to do the shipping on them. So that had an impact on my sales as well. I'm not sure how much, but maybe I would have seen a couple more $100 there. I don't know. I can't wait for this to turn around. And if I compare it to data over the last few years, I would say come the first or second week of August, we should see sales starting to pick up. If they don't pick up, I'm going to become a little bit worried, to be honest. Like, that's just being honest with you guys. I definitely will have to evaluate what I'm spending on inventory if sales don't start to pick up. Okay, sales goals for the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to wrap this video up. So my goal is to get back into my routine. That is my top priority. I've been out of my routine for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and I just need to get back on point. I had planned a whatnot sale this week, and if you have it bookmarked, my apologies. I'm actually going to bump it to next week. So Jeff surprised me this morning, and he's like, I'm going to take Friday off. Let's go to the mountains on Thursday and get out of town, go check on our cabin and do some hiking, just refill our cups. He knows I've been just really emotionally drained the last couple weeks, and I think it's a great idea. So rather than killing myself and trying to make everything work, which I am the queen of doing, I decided to just bump the show. And if you have it bookmarked, I apologize, but I hope you will understand that I'm just taking some personal time, which I think I need to prioritize a bit more when the opportunities are there. So I'm going to try and get up 40 listings between today and tomorrow. And when I say get listings up, I'm just going to photograph them, measure them, send them off to my VA. And then hopefully next week I'll be back to my normal, which is going to be 60 to 80 listings. I also need to prep for my whatnot show, but I have bought myself a little bit more time, which I feel like I need. I'm still in that phase of trying to build up my closet, so I don't want to taper down my inventory buying too much because I'm trying to get up to 1,000. I think once I hit 1,000, I'll start to taper it off and really, really focus on items that I think definitely will sell, not taking chances on ones that I may have to sit on. Currently, I feel like 50% of what I'm picking up, I know is probably not going to sell quick, that is waiting for the right buyer, but as long as sales are relatively happening, I feel like I can make those inventory decisions. But if sales don't resume or pick up, like I said, in a couple weeks, I may slow down my spending because it doesn't make sense to barely make money every week doing what I do, right? So I may taper it down until sales start happening, and then I'll just start sourcing more when it picks up. Okay. What else do I got here? I feel like there's a lot of unknowns right now and that we all have to be smart. Sometimes I think it seems like I'm a little bit more frivolous with my spending, but I have a large amount of capital built in my business. I don't live off of my business money. I have a job where I work 24 hours a week. I have a good healthcare job. So this money a lot of times sits in my business where I have capital that I can take more chances on. If you do not have capital, I would not recommend taking big risks right now until the economy and everything starts to improve, or at least until consumers start spending more money. I think we're going to have little blips, as certain paychecks or bonuses or government bonuses go out. But in general, I think things have to start to change. So yeah, taking a lot of things into consideration right now, for sure. All right, what I would love to know, I'm going to wrap this up. This video is way too long already, is what are your business goals over the next 2 weeks? We are now heading into August. We are into the second half of the year. We're going to be going into fourth quarter soon, but what are your goals for the next 2 weeks? Are you starting to prepare for winter and fall, for busy season? Are you relaxing, taking your summer off? You'll worry about that stuff in a couple weeks. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. No answer is too big or too small. I want to cheer you on, even if you're just sitting on your couch, chilling, enjoying summer. All right, guys, I hope this brings value to you. I hope these videos help you in your reselling business. Please give me a thumbs up, tap subscribe on your way out, drop a comment. All these things help my channel in the algorithm, and they are absolutely free to do. I'm wishing you guys all many sales. I'm so happy to be back hanging out with you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.